Hi, I'm Damona Doy, Extension Economist, and our exciting topic in this segment is record keeping. Okay, maybe not exciting. Record keeping is a chore, no way around it, but the payoffs can be great. Sort of like exercising or eating right. It may not be the most fun in the short run, but the benefits are long term. As a specialist with responsibility to help producers with records, I can help you think about what's most important to do and can point you to tools that make it easier. Can you answer these questions? Does the farm ranch business provide enough income to show a profit, cover loan payments, pay family living expenses? What could the business do to be more profitable? What kind of risk management strategies are appropriate to minimize cost but allow us to sleep better at night? Are we making more on crops or livestock? Should we buy or raise hay? Should we buy or raise replacement heifers? Are cost of production too high? What's the break-even crop price? What incentives might motivate hired help to do a better job? Can we afford to try something new? Let's start with why keep records. Your records are really the foundation of your whole farm or ranch information system, which serves you in forward planning, in analyzing how you're doing today in all dimensions of your work, and also provides a historical perspective so that you know whether progress is being made. Records answer questions and support decisions in a variety of ways, which will be the focus of the slides that follow in this introduction to records. Who can be anyone in the family with time and interest, or it may be somebody outside the family that you pay to assist, perhaps an accountant or tax preparer who will also assist with tax filing. Any assigning it to someone else who doesn't see the value or is underappreciated for the job isn't the way to get a good information system developed. If you don't have someone in the family, pay someone. What depends on the kinds of decisions you want and need to support. The earlier list of questions are examples of things for which you need answers. You may have others related to crop or livestock production or personal finance. When? In a well-organized operation, when will be on an ongoing basis. It's not a one-time annual event where you're scrambling to pull everything together from assorted shoeboxes. You may not sit down every day to work on records, but doing it weekly is a good idea so that your information is always up to date and so that it doesn't become an overwhelming task. How is the subject of the accompanying presentation on farm record keeping tools. Let's continue with our discussion of why invest precious time in maintaining a good information system. Here are 5 possible broad goals for record keeping. Whenever opportunity knocks, you want to be ready. You may get a great limited time offer on a new machinery item. If you have a good understanding of your current financial position and cash flow, know the maintenance and repair history on your existing machine, understand the possible tax consequences of the purchase or trade, then you're prepared to take advantage of the opportunity. Forward planning can encompass a variety of time frames, ranging from the next month or year to retirement and beyond. Communications are one of the most critical elements in business success. Records provide factual, unbiased information that helps others understand both your needs and your wants. To survive in the long run as a business, you must be profitable. Perhaps not every year, but most years. Business analysis provides a clear picture of both profitability and cash flow, helping you see income and expense patterns over time and in different circumstances, for instance throughout normal years. Analysis provides information on prices needed to break even, and it helps you identify strengths and weaknesses. Being prepared for the unexpected means not only being able to take advantage of opportunities, but also being prepared in the event of disaster. It requires knowing your financial situation, but also having some basic documents in place to ensure that your wishes are carried out in the event of an accident, unexpected death, or disability. Having some liquidity is important in an emergency. That means having some cash reserves or the ability to borrow. If you don't already have the legal documents listed here in place, and also in a location that one or more trusted persons knows about, I highly recommend you begin the process to develop them. The durable power of attorney, your will and trust, your medical directives, list of account and credit card numbers, asset and liability inventories for both the farm and household, proof of ownership, coverage, warranties, and beneficiaries. Unfortunately, we never know when an unexpected event might occur that would prevent us from making necessary updates. So it's important to keep documents current. You may not want an ex-spouse in charge of your health care or managing your accounts after you're gone. You may have personal wishes regarding end-of-life care. Minimize the stress that family members will have by being prepared at all times, and adjust as needed. Unfortunately, you now need to regularly monitor your accounts to ensure that your identity hasn't been stolen. Reviewing credit card statements and reports are an important step, along with careful control of records and disposal of discarded items. The Federal Trade Commission has a number of useful resources ranging from the Do Not Call registry to links to report identity theft. Get your free credit report, scam alerts, and more. Take advantage of these free resources. The idea of a spending plan is perhaps more palatable than a budget. Regardless of what you call it, making conscious choices about how your hard-earned dollars will be spent, either on farm or family, is a key to cost control in the long run. Your records will provide a history of spending and can suggest what's reasonable going ahead. During periods of low commodity prices, knowing how much you can cut without impacting production is important. Records may also point out what categories expenses can be reined in on with limited negative repercussions. Retirement planning is absolutely critical if you ever have plans to slow down. When you slow down, the farm's productivity may drop off a bit, which impacts income earned. Having a plan for maintaining your lifestyle means saving early and saving often. The trick is how. Your records give you the foundation for understanding how healthcare costs have varied, how much you want to spend on traveling, and so on. Even if your plan is to never retire, estate planning is important if you've accumulated any property and want your business to transfer as a viable entity to a family member or new beginning farmer. Knowing not only the market value, but also the cost basis of your assets will be important to advisors such as accountants, lawyers, and tax specialists. The better your records and the better your understanding of what you want to achieve, the less time you spend on them and billable hours. To be successful, clear communications with many people is important. Certainly, business partners need a transparent look at income and expenses on an ongoing basis, summarized in meaningful ways. It may be by lease or by production activity, for instance, cow-calf, wheat, alfalfa, or stockers by pen. Likewise, lenders have their own money at stake in your business and want to be informed as to whether they've invested well. If you're anticipating financial stress, which you'll know if you're current in record keeping and monitoring market outlook, better to talk to the lender early. They have many more options for working with you if you start early to address problems. Landlords also want to be in the know. If you're in a shared lease agreement, records are needed to document shared income and expenses and communication in advance when fertilizer prices have increased. That can help maintain good working relationships. Some landlords may want updates regularly. Others may be content with a semi-annual or annual summary. Records provide the basis for discussion. Maybe you think you shouldn't talk to your heirs about your plans before you die in case you change your mind on what you're going to do. But that's not really a good business practice. A transition plan is needed, and again, records will inform the process. Is there sufficient income for future heirs to maintain the business? What kinds of taxes may be imposed on the estate, and are there ways to minimize that while accomplishing asset transfers in an appropriate way? Though it may seem difficult or awkward, communication with family about finances is important as well. If they're young, help them develop important life skills. If you want family members to understand the need for cost control, constraints on your ability to spend on new vehicles, for instance, share your records. The better informed everyone is, the more likely you are to be on the same page with respect to important decisions. Business analysis can look at the past, present, or future. The historical perspective is useful in understanding what is normal or reasonable to achieve in most years. It provides insights into relative strengths and weaknesses. It may suggest ways that operations can be improved. Looking at records in the present allows you to tackle problems before they get out of hand. With a forward-looking lens, you can implement lessons learned and move toward new goals. The bottom line, you can make better informed decisions. Business analysis often focuses on two dimensions: financial performance with looks at things like cash flow and profitability for a period of time, and financial position at a point in time. Business analysis is discussed in more depth in the segments on financial statements and evaluating financial performance and position. Good records are a must for developing accurate financial statements. The summaries that you do for tax purposes are very limited in the insights they provide, and in fact can be very misleading. Financial statements are like the stat sheets for your favorite team and your favorite sport. They give you insights as to how well you're doing, the strengths of different players, and areas where you may need to improve. Summaries from records provide benchmarks to which you can compare. In this example, data from the Kansas Farm Management Association for cow-calf cost of production shows differences in the cost levels between the most and the least profitable producers. The most profitable producers, as shown in the bar chart at the left, have annual cash and non-cash expenses of about $1,000 per cow, whereas the lower profit producers at the right have cost of production that are almost $400 per cow more. Some of the differences explained in feed and pasture, in fact a large portion of the differences there, and so that suggests ways that producers who fall in that lower profitability category might improve. Start by focusing on the big ticket items and work your way down the list to other opportunities to improve. Records allow you to look at trends over time and spot changing patterns. In this case, a couple of items are noteworthy. Seed costs look to be increasing a bit. Fertilizer prices were high and then dropped off. Fuel's been variable depending on oil and gas prices, but repairs seem to be increasing at a rapid rate, which might suggest the need for a new vehicle or piece of machinery or better training or management of the hired hand if that person has frequent breakdowns. The credit line balance is increasing. If the business is in a growth phase, that may be okay. On the other hand, if it's because income generation is not keeping up with spending, something needs to change. Farm and family finances are often intertwined. It's easy for family living to go up during high income years, less easy to bring them down when commodity prices fall. Monitoring them gives you the information you need to develop a spending plan. Records for tax purposes are what I often refer to as the stay out of jail function of records. Too often it's the main driver when in fact it should be a byproduct of a good information system. With a bit of additional work to supplement your cash records, you have a much richer base for informing decisions, as I've convinced you in the previous slides. A great resource in terms of understanding tax implications of farm income and expenses is publication 225, the Farmer's Tax Guide. Sometimes people tell me they're not sure they want to know information. But I would argue sticking your head in the sand like an ostrich does nothing to help make your business sustainable in the long run. Get real. With the size of investments that farmers and ranchers have to make today, there's no excuse for not doing a better job of business management, and it starts with records. So, unbiased truth, insights, identification of profit and loss centers, direction for maximizing the returns to owned resources, documentation for credit purposes, and the ability to compare to benchmarks are all additional things that a good record-keeping system, a good farm information system offer. They also offer information on your ability to afford other things like a piece of land near your farm. Your financial record should help you understand whether it's feasible and whether it's profitable. What kind of incentive would help motivate your employee best to contribute to the bottom line? Would it be increasing the calf crop percent or reducing hay waste? Are the risks you faced greater due to production uncertainty or changes in finances such as input prices or interest rates? Finally, some tips for your record-keeping system. Start simple. Be consistent. Be disciplined. That's probably the hardest one. Be disciplined. Get assistance if you need it, and be enthused. So it's important to measure and then manage, but ask for help if you need it from either your local extension educators or an area ag econ specialist, or you can always contact me either by email or phone. We have a variety of references that may be of use to you. Fact sheets in the osufacts.okstate.edu website. There are hand record books as well as extensive resources on how to adapt Quicken, which is a personal finance tool that can easily be adapted for farm use, and another online resource, a farm book that can be printed from the farm book website. We encourage you to learn more about record keeping by reading these other fact sheets and considering purchase of a software. Software makes it easy to summarize and sort information in lots of ways. Thank you.